Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.
Hello and welcome to game number 2 of a 4-day busy day here on SESN in Kingsport, Tennessee. It is the Kingsport Bracket presented by Visit Kingsport. Gary Justice, Matt Kibbe with you. This is a 1 seed versus the 4 seed in a winner's bracket technically game. It's the first game for Tennessee Wesleyan, and it's the second game for Indiana Tech, who took out Louisiana Christian yesterday. Gary, we are in for a show today after our first game today had a little bit of craziness, and now we're ready to go on time about an hour late here on SESN.
Yeah, both teams are extremely hot. Both teams won 9 of 10 coming into today's contest. Indiana Tech 38-19 on the season. Tennessee Wesleyan 42-11 on the season. Indiana Tech does a good job. Get them on, get them over, get them in. They lead the country with 44 sacrifice hits on the season. Tennessee Wesleyan, the only thing I can say is offense.
Right.
They lead the country in home runs, extra base hits, total bases, and slugging percentage as well. So 2 quality offensive ball clubs on display today.
Looks like we already have a PitchCom issue. Somebody forgot their communication device. It looks like that is the senior, Daniel Stewart, who missed that one out. Hey, when you're player of the year, you can forget about it for the start of the game and the first game of your postseason.
I promise you, Coach Barry's going to keep on putting his name in the starting lineup here, but it don't matter if he has his PitchCom on or not.
So our first pitch, albeit about a minute delayed, it's still 2 minutes early from our scheduled start time of 2 o'clock. That was the goal, is to get this one going as soon as we can, because that helps keep some other stuff on track. And that first pitch was a strike, and then the second pitch fouled away. The starting pitcher today for Tennessee Wesleyan, Blake Payton. And Gary, you were here for the AAC tournament. And Blake Payton is dominant. 16
strikeouts for the left-hander, and he was the best game I've seen pitched all season long, and he was inside, outside, up and down, change the hitter's eye level. Matt, he just had wipeout pitches that night, and he dominated.
Working from the left side, another 1-2, misses the zone as the two teams start to learn what the strike zone is as the umpire crew makes a rotation. Limited sample size if you kind of really look at it for Blake Payton. 9 games, all of them started, but in 38 2/3 innings pitched, he's got a 3.03 ERA. Here's the appeal. No, he did not count runs full after getting ahead 0-2.
Out in the outfield, Newman's in left, Catalano's in center, and Reynolds is in right. Third base will be Shelley, Dixon's at short, Espinoza at second, Shaw's the first baseman.
Swing and a miss, and that is a strikeout, the first one of the day on the first batter for Blake Payton, and it is 1 away here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, Blake has a 3-pitch mix, and he'll throw all of them for strikes with power as well. Fastball, curveball, he'll throw an occasional change, but now when they hit the breaking ball, he could be a 12-6. He also throws a mean slider. He has quite a toolbox to work with on the mound.
First pitch misses. It's going to be a little bit of a tighter zone, at least through the first 2 batters of this game is what we're seeing. It looks like some of these pitches are good. You can kind of see it from our over-the-shoulder cam. It's a little off to the mark for the best vantage point, but it gives you a really good idea of how close these pitches have been so far for Blake Payton.
This is Morrison, the shortstop for the Warriors, player of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference.
There you go, Gary, getting the northern in you. You got the Yankee coming out.
I do a lot of the University of Pikeville baseball games, and they had a team out of the WHAC come down, Cleary University.
Yeah, Cleary, yeah.
They come down and play.
You're talking about my neck of the woods, up in the Mitten State. Cleary's a good team. This is a really good conference. You know, I was talking to Coach McWilliams before the game yesterday, and they actually have one of their conference schools closing, Concordia, Ann Arbor, and he's, that hurts the game because Concordia traditionally, you may know them, known for their athletics and how good they have been all year. There's a rare walk from Blake Payton. That was his 23rd walk this season. He struck out 72 batters now.
But you also talk about schools closing. Also, the Appalachian Athletic Conference has St. Andrews. They've now straight closed on May the 5th, and it's unfortunate to see these smaller schools having to shut down.
It's the way that private liberal education has been going, and it's unfortunate to see, but you fight on and you play through. I mean, that's the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference also lost Davenport University a couple of years ago. They moved up to Division II. And, there's the pickoff. The lefty move will get the runner, and after the walk, a pickoff to first is going to cut down the runner Morrison. What a move from Blake Payton.
Yeah, that left-handed move is so hard to read, and he got retired pretty quickly because he went on the first movement, and Payton does a nice job of lifting that leg straight up. If you cross your leg when you come up, going back towards second base, you have to go to the plate. Payton did a nice job of not breaking that plane, picked and run off first base.
I always loved the lefties. It goes back to the windup here with an 0-1 count. You're taught from a very young age, if you're left-handed, you don't even grow up crossing your leg.
No.
You get so adjusted to just going straight up so that you have that ability with that pickoff move, an advantage the righties don't have. There's a called strike on the inside corner, 1-2.
That's where the lefty is so impressive, Blake Payton. He gets on top of the baseball mat and throws that baseball downhill. That one hit the lower part of the inside zone.
There's a big swing and a miss. 1 and 2 strikeouts for Blake Payton. And he gets a pickoff in the middle of all that. A great start for Blake Payton, the best pitcher in the AAC so far this season. We will step aside, and Indiana Tech will take the field when we come back. Welcome back here on SESN. It is game 2 of a quadruple header here in Kingsport, Tennessee. First pitch from Grant Besser is a called strike. If you tuned in yesterday, of course the Indiana Tech fans know this, but there's a hot shot back up the middle that Besser tried to get a hand on. He couldn't, and it's a base hit up the middle, so a leadoff single for Catalano. And Tennessee Wesleyan's cooking. But you may have noticed that we had Adam Besser pitch yesterday for Indiana Tech. Now his brother and WAC first team member Grant will take the reins today. This is Indiana Tech's ace. They were able to get through Louisiana Christian. In a way, the game plan kind of things, Gary, is you kind of throw off to set you up for the winner's bracket. It's kind of you got to gamble a little bit.
A little bit.
There's a big swing from the second hole hitter, Joshua Shelley.
Yeah, the gamble's within reason, though, right?
Right.
You still got to win the advance. But of course, both these ball clubs, Indiana Tech and Tennessee Wesleyan, very talented.
The reason they're here. There's a base hit to right field. It squeaks through the infield, and Catalano is going to go first to third. Runner will trail him going to second with the throw coming in, and no cut man And so it turns into a single with an advancement on the throw for Shealy, and that puts runners at second and third with nobody out, and Grant Besser looking to get through it.
Now batting catcher, number 21, Daniel Stewart.
Brings up Daniel Stewart, batting .449 on the year, Gary.
Player of the year in the Appalachian Athletic Conference, and he has just had quite an Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament as well.
Saw him before the game without the pitch comm, and now the Gold Glove catcher steps in trying to deliver his 73rd and 74th RBI in 2025.
And this is only game 54, by the way.
One and one from Grant. And there's a base hit right back up the middle. The Appalachian Athletic Conference Player of the Year delivers a 2 RBI single, and it is 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning.
That's what Tennessee Wesleyan can do. They get base hit after base hit. They know how to get on, get over. They know how to knock them in. Again, they lead the country in home runs, extra base hits, total bases, slugging percentage, offense. They do such a good job early, and this brings up the Appalachian Athletic Conference Newcomer of the Year.
Yeah, there you go. Right back to back is how they line up. It is Colton Reynolds. Sees a first pitch ball. Colton wears number 32 for this team. He's a transfer from the University of Arkansas. That's what got him the Newcomer of the Year. He was new to the league, and he'll send a base hit right over the head of Ferguson at second. Stewart will go first to third, and the bats have shown up here in Kingsport early for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, 4 hitters, 4 base hits, 2 runs, and yet to have the first out recorded here in the bottom of the first inning.
I mentioned it at the top. It's the ace for Indiana Tech, and Tennessee Wesleyan here in this first inning not making them look like one.
So this will give us a quick trip to the mound by the coach.
It looks like this is actually going to be Coach McWilliams who's making the trip, the head coach making the first conference trip, and that says a lot when you're in a situation like this. He knows how important this stuff is.
Indiana Tech this year in the 38 wins, Matt, their ERA was 3.50. In their 19 losses, their ERA ballooned up to 8.5. So when their pitchers are able to minimize innings of their opponents, they're able to compete. However, when they're unable to minimize that ERA, also you start thinking about how do you minimize innings. Sometimes you get the strikeouts per 9 innings. That's how you can minimize inning as well. In the 38 wins, they averaged 9.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. And the 19 losses, they only averaged 6 strikeouts as well. So here, 4 hitters, 4 hits, 2 runs with runners on the corners, nobody out.
They had to go through the difficult Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference tournament. The favorite in that tournament was the University of Northwestern Ohio, and they had to go as a 3 seed, battle through it. They lost their second game to Concordia University and then went on a streak of 5 in a row, taking down Northwestern Ohio 2 times in a row. There's a ground ball. It's a dribbler, so a play has to be made by Ferguson. He'll take the guarantee at first, so an RBI ground out. And they're going to check the ball after it hit off the end of the bat.
Now, I've seen Corbin Shaw hit one during the AAC tournament where they had to check the baseball as well because it was over the left field wall, but that one gets the job done, and that would have ground out to the second baseman for the 3rd run here in the first inning.
Reynolds moves up to second in the meantime, and that will bring up Jack Stevens. He'll swing at the first pitch from Besser. It's in the hole at short. Back pick. Long throw over to first. It's up the line. It's going to get away. No backup there with the runner at second. And so it's going to go all the way to the dugout on the first base side, and runners will move to the corner. Catcher has to stay home. You always have to stay 2 bases ahead of the runner, so catcher has to stay. And with that ball up the line, it gets away and allows everybody to go to third.
Has such a tough play, not a 6-hole. Matt going away from first base, got to set the feet, long throw, just unable to get the pick at first base, and again, first and third, only one out for the Wesleyan Bulldogs.
Called strike. Besser gets one in.
This is Espinoza, the second baseman. Again, had a very productive season. Had a great AAC conference tournament as well.
Transferred from Glendale Community College. Espinoza swings at the second offering. Oh, one misses, make it 1-1.
Yeah, Besser's only thrown 15 pitches here in the bottom of the first, but it's already led to 3 runs for the Bulldogs.
They've swung early and often. There's another one, hot shot down the right field line. Espinoza is thinking 2. This is gonna have 1 run score, and they will hold the runner at third. Might have having a chance to score because Raberchek actually bobbled it out in the outfield. And that means it will leave runners at second and third. And the score 4-0 here on SESN.
This is the Wesleyan Bulldogs offense. They will put so much pressure on you to get out.
Evan Dixon now the batter. And Grant Besser is a low pitch count, but he's going to have to wear it right now. Nobody even getting moving for the Warriors. This is their guy. You got to trust him a little bit. There's another base knock to left field. This is going to score 2 for the Bulldogs, and it's a 2 RBI single for Devin Dixon. The score goes up to 6.
And talk about the versatility of this Bulldogs offense. This is Cruz Newman hitting 9th all-league performer. He was the AAC 2024 AAC tournament MVP, Cruz Newman. Hitting in the 9-hole.
It's a second teamer this year. From Richmond, Kentucky, swings at the first pitch. This is a lefty-on-lefty matchup. 6 runs on 7 hits for Wesleyan after they were able to go 1-2-3 in the top half of the first with Blake Payton. There's a ground ball foul, just foul in front of the bag. If you catch that just a hair sooner, that would be Malott.
Probably one of the toughest calls as an umpire to make that play right on the line. You talked about in Game 1 today the importance of having 4 umpires in this tournament.
We'll give a shout out to our umpires in a little bit. I have all 7 of them, so we can give them the shout out. And there's strike 3 from Besser on Newman, and that's going to be the second out. That'll bring up the top of the order as the Bulldogs bat around. Catalano started this game off with a hit back up the middle. And he sees the first pitch ball in his second at-bat of the game here in the first inning. Catalano batted .413 this year. And a diving stop by Ferguson. He'll throw it over to first, and the Bulldogs put a huge number up on the board in the first inning on Indiana Tech in this winner's bracket game. The score 6-0 here on SESN. We'll be right back here on SESN. Welcome back here as we move to the second inning on SESN. Matt Kibbe, Gary Justice up here in the booth. First pitch swinging are the Warriors, exactly what they need, as Jordan Malott will send one to left field, and he'll get a stand-up double to lead off the second inning. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Warriors of Indiana Tech.
Yeah, how do you respond? How do you get momentum back on your side? You do exactly that. Get that lead-off double, see if you can get the zero off the scoreboard, get a little bit of momentum, and that's big off Blake Payton. He doesn't allow very many hits, many runs. It's key for the Warriors to get started here in the second inning.
No, it's early, but that was the first hit for the Warriors. They had a walk in that first inning, but then a pickoff by the lefty Blake Payton. And now that will bring up Jack Ferguson, my apologies. And he's been pretty good in his sophomore year. Didn't like the strike call. But Jack's batting .335 this year. He's played in 55 games, started 51 of them. Slugging .565. And he sees a called strike, 3 on the outside corner. That was efficient work by Blake Payton.
That's how you respond after a leadoff double. Get to strike the next guy out looking, and Payton, again, he has wipeout stuff, and he's one of those guys. He gets ahead of hitters. He can put away hitters. Very impressive with number 7 in white.
He did it in 3 pitches, just right at him. Now he's got one up on the board and a runner at second still. There's a first pitch swing. And it is going to drift over. Catalano makes a nice play. Almost looked like he was trying to deke the runner a little bit.
Yeah, really good outfielders will do that, and they'll sit there and they'll try to get those guys will go in like they're going to try to play it off the bounce, get them running, try to double them up, and nice job of base running.
And Malott had to pay attention a little bit there.
He had to pay attention. So Payton's 1 out away from working around the leadoff double.
Rainey, the batter, he's the counterpart to Catalano out in center field. Both really good on the defensive side of the ball.
Next level guys.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. You like having them out in the outfield. They track a lot of things down. Big swing from Rainey, and it makes it 0-2, and here goes Blake Payton again.
That's a 12-6 curveball, kind of like the old Barry Zito curveball from the Oakland A's. It gets on top of things on the left side and just it drops.
Fouled off by Rainey. He'll stay alive. This is a 38-win Indiana Tech team. Mentioned they're now winners of their last 6. They went 20-8 in a very tough Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Kip Williams, of course, in his 18th season. Long tenures.
2 talented coaches who built programs. Have been successful for a long time.
First time we're seeing Tennessee Wesleyan here in Kingsport. They were supposed to be the last game yesterday, but everything got canceled, and Blake Payton will strike out Rainey, and that will be his 4th strikeout of the day. He's looking good so far. Gets around the leadoff double, like you mentioned, Gary, and sends us to the bottom of the second inning. The Bulldogs looking for a couple more runs here on SESN. Welcome back here on SESN. It is the NAIA opening round here in 2025. Visit Kingsport is our host. Gary Justice, Matt Kibbe with you here on SESN. We're in the bottom of the second inning. It is already 6-0 in favor of the number 1 seed Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. They came up and batted around in that first inning, and now looking to add some more on Grant Besser, who's on the mound for Indiana Tech. High fly ball to right. There's the first out as Shelley is retired.
That's what you want to do. Come in first, pitchy throw, get an out. Besser trying to regain some confidence. Got those 6 runs, 7 hits in that first inning. As a matter of fact, the first 4 hitters who batted got base hits.
That's a nice, efficient at bat for Besser, though. He's already at 24 pitches now, through 1 1/3. First pitch ball down low to Stewart.
We talked about this earlier today too, Matt, about how many times the lineup gets to see the starting pitcher. Already in the second inning, already the second time through the lineup as well.
Dylan Stewart continues to hit the ball hard, except this time be able to track under it was Rainey, and that's the second out. That's a big out to get. Confidence building out for Grant Besser.
A 2 up, 2 down here in the second inning. Been very efficient with his pitches so far.
Besser's the first pitch of the third at bat this inning is a ball on the outside. He'll go up against now Colton Reynolds. Fouled straight back. Home of the Kingsport Axemen here at Hunter Wright Stadium. Beautiful venue, surrounded by mountains, the trees, a beautiful batter's eye.
Great parking here at Hunter Wright Stadium. Easy to get in, get out.
Right off of 26. In Tennessee. There's the fly ball to right field. That's going to be far enough away that it will just drop harmlessly for a 2-2 redo.
Got Reynolds at the newcomer of the year, and that's just something he'll battle with 2 strikes. And this Wesleyan Bulldogs team is really good with 2 strikes.
Count goes full.
3rd ranked team in the entire country.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to that. They're number 1 seed here, but in that final ranking, they were 3rd behind LSU Shreveport, of course, who continues to just do unimaginable things with their record. They won last night as well. And then Georgia Gwinnett was the number 2 overall ranked team in that final ranking. High fly ball, right field, underneath it, in fair territory to make the play is Ryberchek, and he will. So a nice comeback after the 6-run first for Grant Besser. He gets a 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the second, and that takes us to the third here on SCSN.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Welcome back here, top of the third inning on SESN. 6-0 in favor of Tennessee Wesleyan. They came out of the gates firing in the bottom of the first, and now Indiana Tech looking to get something going. There's a high towering fly ball on the infield. It's going to go into foul territory, and making the catch is Shaw. Well, there's a saying up in the Midwest, Gary, that's a home run in a silo. It was high.
It was high, and it stayed for a long time as well.
Those are hard. Those are hard plays to make when it stays up as long as it does. You're not used to it.
Peyton's only thrown 25 pitches so far, and he's already got 7 outs in 25 pitches, Matt.
Efficiency.
He's allowed 1 hit. He's walked 1. He struck out 4, 2 1/3. And it's a nice response from Besser in the bottom half of the second. On the pitcher for the Warriors.
You know, Blake Payton, a transfer from the University of Arizona, now in his graduate year with Tennessee Wesleyan.
This is Watkins, the backstop for the Warriors. This is the number 9 hitter.
There's another swing and a miss from a Warrior. Blake Payton, Dyson here, 5 strikeouts through 2 2/3.
Now batting, right field number 10, Logan Rybercheck.
First pitch outside. Stewart has to kind of knife at it to get to it.
So the lineup will turn over for the first time today for the Warriors.
That means Logan Rybercheck is going to get us going from that leadoff spot with 2 outs, try and keep this inning going with some base runners. That's been the difficult thing today. Only 2 of them. One was stranded at second. The other was picked off at first. Another rare 3-ball count for Blake Payton. Stands 6-2 on the mound. Hurls from the left side. And a called strike to make it 3-1.
Yeah, when you talk about aces, he's number 7 he's an ace with a capital A.
Foul ball down the right field line. Going towards the bullpen, and somebody from the dugout will be tasked with making the run.
Nice job to battle back from 3-0 to fill it up.
Upstairs, and he lost him. So, 2-out walk, inning stays alive for the Warriors, looking for some type of momentum.
Now batting, shortstop,
It's a
number
team.
23, Ben
You know, they got the
Wilson.
leadoff double in the second inning. Peyton was able to work around out. Now you have a runner with 2 outs get on via walk. Let's see how Peyton responds here.
It's Ben Morris. He walked him last time up. There's a strike. Morris fouls one to the third base dugout.
Got to wonder with Peyton picking off the runner earlier if that's going to shorten the lead up for the Warriors the rest of the game, Matt.
Well, it should, realistically, right? As though 2 is grounded to first, fielded by Shaw. He'll toss to Peyton, who comes over, a little PFP. Hey, pitchers are athletes too, Gary, and they make a great play like that with Shaw and Blake Payton pairing up for that final out. We'll tell you more about those one-way leads when we come back here on SESN. 6-0 Tennessee Wesleyan. We move to the bottom of the third inning.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Bottom of the third inning, Tennessee Wesleyan coming back up to bat, 6-0 lead after a 6 spot in the first inning. And looking to continue to add to that. Shaw will lead us off here, and he will send one high and deep to center field. Tracking it is Rainey. He will drift all the way back to in front of the 410 mark in dead center field, and it's just a long out.
Yeah, Corbin Shaw tried the deepest part of the ballpark. Probably hit that one 395, but definitely allowed the center fielder to the warning track, set his feet, and made the grab.
Rainey was casual about it, too.
He knew he had plenty of room.
A big outfield, plays big. We've only seen 2 home runs this week. Granted, we've only played 2 games, but only the 2 that came back in our first game today at 10 a.m.
They were big ones, too.
Massive shots to left field.
Bring up the DH. He singled his first time. Of course, that's back in the first.
Jack Stevens. He'll roll one over to short, picked up there by Morrison. He'll throw it over to first in plenty of time. 2 away, and after the 6th spot in the first inning, Gary, it seems as though Grant Besser has settled in.
He has. He kind of found that rhythm. And, you know, that conversation when Coach went out in that first inning just kind of calmed the waters a little bit, and definitely took those words to heart, and now he's retired the last 5 he's faced. He's a talented pitcher from the left side, Besser, and he just ran into an offense in that first inning who can do it against any pitcher in the entire country.
Is this our, correct me if I'm wrong, we've had 4 starting pitchers today. 3 of the 4 have been from the left side.
The left side, yes.
Lefty heaven today. I'll take that as the lefty up here. Well, not a hurler from the left side, but, you know, right with the left, do everything else from the right. 2-1 the count. Espinoza sends one high and deep to left center field. It's got the distance and the juice. It's gone. A solo home run for Espinoza, and he makes the lead 7-0 here on SESN.
You talked about the ball not traveling or haven't seen the home run since only seen this couple ones, and Mr. Espinoza changed that one real quick.
His 6th home run of the year makes it a 7-0 game. And he got a hold of that one and drove it to the power alley. I probably went it's 375 to that part of the field.
That ball, I thought Miller had a beat on left field, and the baseball just kept on traveling.
I told you guys in the first game, folks at home, it's gotten humid, meaning that ball's going to travel a little bit more. Warm air makes it a little bit easier to fall and keep going. Fly ball to end the inning from Dixon out to center field. So only 1 run comes off of the solo home run from the Brian Espinoza. And it is 7-0 here on SESN. Tennessee Wesleyan dugout feeling good with that 7-0 lead here in the top of the fourth and their ace on the mound. We're going to see that on No Context like NAIA or something.
So through 3 innings, Blake Payton has only thrown 38 pitches, allowed 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 5.
Third baseman, number 17, Bryson Hanna.
Winners of the Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament. They were second in the regular season, so won that tournament as the 2 seed. First pitch strike from Blake Payton. They had to go through Bryan. They had to go through Johnson twice, and then Reinhardt in the championship game. Indiana Tech has Bryson Hanna leading off. He flies one in on the infield. It will be caught by the second baseman, Espinoza. Wouldn't you know, whenever you hit the homer, like we always say, the first play comes right at you.
Yeah, typically, it worked that way. Usually it's the defensive play to lead off the inning.
Yeah, right.
For the second time today, it's hit the home run, make the defensive play.
That's right. Malott will step up. Cleanup hitter for Indiana Tech, but with how Blake Payton has been throwing, there hasn't been much to clean up.
Yeah, Malott had that leadoff double back in the second, then Payton was able to work around a little bit of trouble.
Strike makes it 1-1.
What makes Payton so hard is to hit because he worked the lower part of the zone. If you swing and miss, or if you do make contact, usually it's a pop-up.
Another swing and a miss from Malott makes it 1-2.
Take a round ball and a round bat and try to hit it squarely. Hardest thing to do in sports.
No doubt about it. Here's the cliche is, you can hit the ball 3 times out of 10, and you're a Hall of Famer, right? I mean, maybe not in your case as the Hall of Famer on the mound.
Well, I'll tell you a story how I became a pitcher. So I had a high school baseball coach come up to me and said, "Hey, Gary, do you want to play college baseball?" I said, "Yes, Coach, I would love to." I said, "Son, you need to learn how to pitch." I was thinking because he thought I had a good arm. And he said, "Because you can't run and you can't hit."
There's a high fly ball from Jordan Malott. He tosses the bat and knows it's gone. It's 7-1 after the Jordan Malott solo home run to left field to make it 7-1. He hits one out, and for Jordan, that is his 12th home run of the season. He knew it was gone off the bat.
Yeah, Newman in left field, as you talked about, he didn't even turn around. He's like, "Yeah, that baseball is gone." So Malotti's doubling a home run, and he's been the offense so far for the Warriors.
Yeah, the only one. There's 2 hits up on the board. Like you said, both of them from Malott. And now Ferguson will bat. He'll ground one to first. Corbin Shaw is there. He'll make the unassisted putout, and there's 2 outs up on the board. But, for Indiana Tech, Gary, it's nice. It's a solo home run, and yeah, you'd love to have runners on, but it takes that 0 off the board.
Yeah, you start somewhere, right? You got to crack the scoreboard somehow, some way. Give your team a little bit of momentum. Let's bring up the DH for the Warriors, in with 2 outs.
Called strike.
He flew out to center field his first time as well. So Payton responded for the home run, getting a pop-up.
It's Luke Huerta. One count for Payton. Curveball misses.
Been a rather quickly played ball game so far.
I'm knocking on some wood for that one.
Yeah.
There's a ground ball. The second, cleanly fielded by Espinoza. He'll throw over to first. Makes 2 plays in that inning after hitting the home run, but Jordan Malott says, "I'm going to see one and give you one." Solo home runs traded off. in the bottom of the third and top of the fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. 7-1's our score here on SESN. Welcome back here on SESN. We start off the bottom of the fourth inning. Wesleyan now only up 6 runs again.
This is Cruz Newman, the left fielder. He struck out in his first plate appearance back in the first.
Lefty on lefty matchup is a difficult one with Grant Besser on the mound.
So, Matt, we're going to the bottom of the fourth, and the lineup's going to turn over for the third time today.
Usually that doesn't happen till the 5th or 6th inning. But with how this Tennessee Wesleyan team has come out to attack, it's kind of what happens, you know?
Yeah, the Bulldogs want to put constant pressure on you as a team. Just the amount of firepower they have 1 through 9, and even off the bench, they can swing it off the stick off the bench as well.
They sent 10 batters to the plate in the first inning, scoring their 6 runs. Then they went 1-2-3 in the second inning, and then last inning, essentially a 1-2-3 inning, but a home run from Espinoza in the middle of all that. And there's a strikeout for Grant Besser.
Be his second punch out of the day. Both times got Newman both times. He can bring up the center fielder, Catalano. Catalano, he's 1 for 2. He singled back in the first and bounced out to the second baseman. His third AB in the fourth inning.
First pitch strike from Besser. Another pitch on the outside corner called a strike. Not a pitch you can do much with if you're Catalano. Pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Something to be said about the weather finally giving way. We're able to give you our full broadcast. All of our cameras are active, and got the PTZ working. Bradley doing that for us here right now.
Crushing it, by the way, too.
Absolutely. We got a great crew with us for everything. High fly ball for the second out of the inning. It will be Rainey who calls everyone off. And Catalano is retired. We made a call to the bullpen last night. We saw 4 games on the schedule, and Gary Justice magically appeared to enter Sandman. Close things down for us here on a Tuesday.
I don't know if I've ever been compared to Mariano Rivera.
I just feel like you're a Metallica guy coming out of the bullpen.
I get a little bump when Metallica's playing.
Another strike, 0-2 on Sheely.
You know, Besser looked good in the second, up that home run in the third, but he's 1 pitch away from retiring these guys in the fourth.
Ground ball to third, picked up by Bryson Hanna. Cross arm throw and not in time. Speed from Shelley beats it out. It was a good throw. It was on using the turf to his advantage, but Shelley just too fast.
Hey, that's a tough one. It's a good pitch off the end of the bat and just hit the baseball in the right area where had a guy who has good wheels getting down the line. It's hard to throw him out.
So that runner goes to first with 2 outs, and now Daniel Stewart will bat. Talked about Stewart a whole lot today, but Hazel Green, Alabama native. He did transfer to Tennessee Wesleyan from Wallace State Community College.
Had a single, 2 RBIs back in the first and flew out to center in the second.
He'll line one to third, and sprawling to make the play is Bryson Hanna. Over at third, a nice play to end the inning, and that's going to take us to the 5th. The score 7-1 here on SESN. It is 73 degrees for Blake Payton working on the turf, and he has been lights out so far through 4 innings, only giving up the 1 home run, and that's the only run he's given up outside of the 2 hits through 4 innings of work. He's got 2 walks and 5 strikeouts, and there's our look at the weather here. I'll give the presentation to Visit Kingsport. Feels like 77 degrees. And you know that graphic up in that right corner, we don't really talk about it a whole lot, but it is something we've been dealing with here in the Kingsport Regional all week long.
Let's bring up the center fielder, Rainey. He struck out his first plate appearance.
Move to the top of the 5th. Peyton back out to work. The only thing I didn't mention is his pitch count. 52 pitches through his 4 innings of work. Another foul ball makes it 0-2 on Rainey.
No balls and 2 strikes here, man. He'll change his plate approach here, foul things off, and find a pitch you can drive.
Another one to fight. Take a look at the Tennessee Wesleyan the dugout, if you notice it, on the third base side here in a moment. 0-2 from Peyton. Swung on and missed. That is the 6th strikeout of the day, and that's going to make one man in the dugout happy. That's the head coach, Billy Barry, at the top step right there. He's in his 18th season at the helm for Tennessee Wesleyan, and they are coming off of their 16th Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament title this past Saturday here in Kingsport, and it is also the 16th consecutive time that his squad has made it to the NAIA opening round. There are only 2 programs in the NAIA since switching to this format that have qualified for every opening round. Can you guess the other one?
I cannot.
Oh, it's a team that is making a historic run this year.
Oh, Shreveport.
It is Shreveport. LSU Shreveport is the only other team that has made all 16 NAIA opening rounds in this format that has the 46 teams and the automatic bid and the 10 regions that was made 16 years ago. Tennessee Wesleyan and LSU Shreveport are the only ones to do so.
It's impressive because you think about it, year in and year out, especially like in the AAC, Tennessee Wesleyan, they become their gold standard for a long time. Reinhardt's really up their game in the AAC. Johnson is up their game.
There's another swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the fifth, and that is 7 for Blake Payton.
Yeah, he is so tough. Again, he changes speed so well, and upper part of the zone, lower part of the zone. And the thing is, a lot of times, Matt, you'll see hitters or pitchers, they'll have one pitch as their out pitch, and Blake Payton, he has 3 of those.
First pitch strike again. He's really dialed in here in the 5th inning.
This is Watkins, the catcher. He struck out back in the 3rd.
Another strike makes it 0-2.
I think you'll back, you'll breaking ball, then change, and you find the zone of both of those. Now you have so many things to play with here. Wouldn't be surprised if breaking ball inside.
The 0-2. Called strike 3. Blake Payton strikes out the side. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. The score is 7-1. Payton is feeling it for Tennessee Wesleyan. Grant Besser going back out to work for the bottom of the 5th inning here on SESN. Gary Justice, Matt Kibbe with me here in Kingsport, Tennessee. Our presenting sponsor is Visit Kingsport.
4, 5, 6 do it for the Bulldogs.
Not an easy path here for Grant Besser in his 5th inning of work. He's at 58 pitches so far. And another foul ball down the line.
He's allowed 9 hits. 6 came in the 1st inning.
Right.
7 runs all earned. 6 came in the 1st inning. 2 strikeouts.
This is the Warrior team. Swing and a miss makes it 1-2. That won their 2nd in a row, their 2nd straight WAC tournament title. Both times they did it as a 3 seed in the tournament, which not out of the ordinary, but to do it in back-to-back years says something about this team. There's a base knock for Reynolds to right field, and he'll start this inning off with a base hit and nobody out.
So the Bulldogs will reach double figures in hits with 10. I bring up Corbin Shaw. Bounced out to the second baseman, got an RBI, and flew out deep to center field his last time.
He's the one that put the drive into it. Hit it as deep as he could here at Hunter Wright Stadium. Some programming notes for you. Coming up next, we'll have Louisiana Christian against Cumberland. There's a ground ball to short. Picked up there. 6-4-3 on the bounce double play to get 2 quick outs for Grant Besser. That's a nice double play. Corbin Shaw was the one that grounded out. And then it was started by Morrison. Morrison to Ferguson to Malott. 6-4-3 double play.
Yeah, a quick turn to got the baseball out of his hands, a short stop to the second baseman, able to utilize the turf.
Exactly.
Pitcher's best friend.
Right, exactly right. Finish up that programming. We'll have an elimination game, Louisiana Christian against Cumberland, who lost earlier today. Originally, there was potential that the first game of the day, the loser of that game was going to have to play 3 games today, but we were able to change that schedule. So what actually happens now is that 8:30 a.m. becomes a winner's bracket game. So Columbia College will set to play the winner of this game right now. So it actually ends up the loser of this game only has to play 1 game today. There's a strikeout to end the frame. Stevens swung over top of a curveball, and they complete the strikeout with the tag. That will take us to the bottom, or to the 7th here. No, to the 6th. What am I doing here on SCSN? We go to the 6th inning. The score is 7-1. It's been a long day of baseball here in Kingsport, Tennessee. We'll be right back. Well, earlier today you would have needed those umbrellas for the rain, but now you need them to block out the bright sun that we have in Kingsport, Tennessee, peeking over the mountains in a 7-1 ball game as we move to the 6th inning, the top of the 6th inning, that is, on SCSN. Gary Justice, Matt Kibbe with you here in Kingsport, Tennessee. We're also SCSN responsible for the Reinhardt Regional. So you can go back and forth. All of our games and content is free of charge. I think that's something that, as a company, most excited about, that we're able to offer high-quality college baseball for free on multiple platforms.
And they're archived where you can come back and watch the ball games later on. This is the right fielder, 0 for 2, struck out, and 0 for 1, struck out and walked.
Peyton has him up 0-2. Cold strike 3. The bender upstairs to change the eye level, and Peyton has 4 strikeouts in a row.
9 on the day, and he had 16 just a couple weeks ago in the AAC tournament. He's already got 9, only in the 6th.
First pitch, another strike on Morrison.
5 in the 30s, only allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 9 punch-outs. 66 pitches. Yeah, Peyton is doing a good job of getting ahead of hitters, putting hitters away, and really he'll kind of, lefty on lefty. It's tough to face number 7 in white.
1-1 outside pitch, called a strike. Morrison wanted it. He took a little half swing after.
Morrison walked in the first and was picked off, and he also bounced out 3-1 back in the third.
Another pitch in the dirt.
Now in that 16K game, I saw Blake Peyton strike out the first 6 batters of the game, 6 in a row. He definitely has that type of stuff where he can put the team on his back for multiple innings at a time.
There's a foul ball to the third base side, so 2-2 remains the count.
And that's the type of swings you'll see, Matt, as far as because Peyton's breaking ball goes from 12 to 6 on the clock, and you're basically trying to swing and the baseball's going down, and usually you'll hit just the top of the baseball and you get little numbers.
He wanted that one, and he got it on a shoestring to the outside corner. 5 strikeouts in a row for Blake Peyton.
He is rocking and rolling again. I saw him strike out 6 in a row, and the only person he's been unable to, only one person in the lineup he's been unable to get out, and he's on deck.
Bryson Hanna steps in. Number 3 hitter who's 0 for 2 today. He struck out back in the first and popped out on the infield in the 4th. Let's see another pitch, called strike, going right at him. Blake Payton doesn't mess around.
Watch his mechanics. He repeats his mechanics so well, and every single pitch gets on top of the baseball and driving straight down to the strike zone.
The 0-2. Fouled off and spoiled by Hanna. As this game has progressed, you're hearing more grunts from Blake Payton. He's putting all of his gas behind it.
There's also another theory behind the grunts too, Matt Kibbe.
Intimidation.
I will tell you after this pitch.
The 0-2. Strike 3 swinging, 6 in a row for Blake Payton, and he is feeling it off the mound. Flex on him, son. 7-1 our score. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning on SESN. Outside of that first inning, in the bottom of the first, where Tennessee Wesleyan put up 6, it's a low-scoring game, and we've been moving. 2 great pitchers going at it. Just a little hiccup for Grant Besser in the first, and outside of that, he's been really good. He's only given up the solo homer that came back in the 3rd, and outside of that, he's retired Tennessee Wesleyan fairly easily, I would say, and I don't take that lightly by saying easily.
Yeah, after the first inning, it's been a 1-1 ball game. That's what we kind of expected with Besser and Payton. This be Espinoza, the shortstop, 2 for 2 on the day. Had that homer back in the 3rd. Doubled in the first, drove in a run, and had a solo shot in the 3rd. And it's had quite a day.
First 0-2 swing, and it is driven to left field by Espinoza again. This time it stays in the ballpark.
Besser's 66 pitches so far through 5 innings, like 10 hits, 7 runs. He struck out 3. Let's bring up the number 8 hitter, Evan Dixon, the shortstop. 1 for 2 in the afternoon, a couple RBIs.
Fouls off of the first offering from Besser. Misses.
Being in the 6th inning, Matt, and it's only his 71st pitch, he's been very efficient with his pitches.
It's a foul ball off the ankle.
That one hurts too. I know he's got the guard on, that type of thing. He is, it still hurts though. It'll be Dixon, then Cruz Newman will hit after him.
1-2 just flings the end of the bat at it and keeps it up in the air, so it would be a nice play for Malott over at first for the putout. And there's 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
Let's bring up the left fielder for the Bulldogs, Cruz Newman. He's had a rough day today. He's yet to figure out Besser. Had an at-bat in the 1st and the 4th and struck out swinging both times, Matt.
It's been the one area in this dominant Tennessee Wesleyan lineup that would love to get a base knock. There's only 2 hitters that don't have a hit today, Corbin Shaw and Newman, of course. Called strike makes it 1-1. Everybody else has at least 1, and a couple have 2.
And it's impressive because both those guys are all league performers.
And so Grant Besser putting his WAC all-conference up against their AAC all-league.
The conference versus conference. I love it.
Right. The 2-1 from Besser. Called strike on the inside.
Starting to see some action up in the Warrior bullpen, too. Nothing.
Yeah, the pitch count's starting to get up in the 80s. Pitch misses on the outside, makes it 3-2.
The guys are just kind of tossing back and forth. If you're rating on 1 through 10, how quickly they're getting ready, probably about a 4 right now.
Yeah. There's a swing and a miss. That's another strikeout for Grant Besser. And he goes a strikeout on his side after a couple of plays by his infield, and that will take us to the 7th inning here on SESN.
It all began in 1937. A vision to start something different, something better. A college athletics association where competition wasn't just about the scoreboard, but about character, growth, and rising together. From that first tip-off, the NAIA has grown in size and in spirit, in the way we play, the way we lead, the way we make athletics greater than a game.
This is college athletics the way it was meant to be. This is the right way to play.
Welcome back. There's the home plate umpire today. We have 7 umpires here in Kingsport, Tennessee. Daryl Arnold, Jack Cox, Aaron Hill, Marcus Wilkie, Travis Rose, Nick Reynolds, and David Bryant were the 7 umpires assigned to Kingsport, Tennessee, and that is a huge honor in the NAIA. It means you had one of the best regular seasons in the NAIA, that you were invited to come and umpire in the opening round. So all 7 of those men had a great regular season and were able to make it to the opening round.
It's been the only kryptonite Blake Payton's had today.
This is not the umpires.
No, I'm sorry.
Jordan Malott is the kryptonite today. He has both of Indiana Tech's hits. One of them is a double and the other is a homer. And it was a long fly ball to left field that he knew was gone off the bat. And that's where our score sits, 7-1. That homer came back in the 4th inning. Pitch down low.
Had a leadoff double in the second. Peyton worked around that one. Just had that give that solo home run. If you do give a home run, coaches always say make sure it's a solo shot.
Right. Limit the damage.
Limit the damage.
2-1 inside, called a strike, and Malott was bailing out of the batter's box.
You know, we've seen a couple of dominant performances today. Clark in game 1 today for Columbia. Now Peyton just working the black part of the plate, not even the white. He's working on the black.
2-2 the count. He's got 6 in a row. Upstairs. Count goes full.
So we talked about the debate on the grunting. Sometimes pitchers will grunt when they throw a changeup, try and get the hitter to shift their weight. Right now, Blake Payton is grunting on a fastball.
Pitch counts at 80 right now. The 3-2. Fouled off of Malott's ankle, and we'll do it again. Swinging on six strikeouts in a row. The hardest out in the Indiana Tech lineup, the 3-2. Swung on and missed. That is 7 strikeouts in a row. Lucky 7 for number 7. And he has 12 strikeouts on the day. Oh my, Blake Payton.
He is absolutely unhittable. I've seen him throw 2 games, and he's 28 strikeouts in those 2 ball games, and he's just absolutely next level.
There is a first pitch strike because of the foul ball. So he has 7 in a row. Called strike to make it 0-2.
So this will bring up the second baseman Ferguson. He struck out looking in the second, bounced out to the first baseman unassisted back in the fourth.
Already down 0-2 against Peyton. Fouled back at us. In the 7 strikeouts, 4 have been swinging, 3 have been looking. The 0-2 from Peyton. He lets that one go and overthrows it to the right-handed batter's box.
Try to get a little extra giddy up on it.
Yeah. Not that he needs it by any means. The 1-2. Swung on and missed again. 8 in a row for Blake Peyton.
Absolutely. I mean, that's breaking ball is.
This is nasty.
I'm running out of words to describe what I'm seeing here. It's fun to watch.
This is just a nasty display of pitching in the most positive way possible. He has 8 strikeouts in a row. The designated hitter, Lou Cordera, has stepped in. And, of course, with 8 strikeouts in a row, if he does this in 3 straight innings, he has struck out the entire Indiana Tech lineup in a row. And that will break the streak right on cue. Cordera will round first and take a long look at second before retreating. He snaps the streak of 8 in a row with a 2-out single in the 7th inning on the 89th pitch of the game for Blake Peyton. Stand up and give him an applaud for 8 in a row. That's incredible.
He may have hung that curveball just a little bit more than he wanted to, but it was a good piece of hitting and breaks up the streak of 8 straight. They were retired via the strikeout.
Pitch misses. The first offering to Rainey.
Struck out in the second and the 5th.
He started the string of 8 in a row. There's the back pick again, almost had him leaning. You're right. We talked about this earlier, but Indiana Tech hasn't gotten anybody on for us to reestablish that conversation, but they have shortened their leads, and they've gone to more of a one-way lead, meaning the moment the pitcher takes off, you kind of lean back towards first, and then you get a big secondary.
Of course, also the situation may be dictating that a little bit too, down by 6 in the 7th inning. Having an early pickoff does change your run game, though.
Fouled off, make it 1-2.
Rainey hits in the 7th spot here for the Warriors.
One, two, fouled back to the third base side of the backstop, and we'll do it again.
We got a reliever up in the bullpen for the Bulldogs right now.
That pitch count's starting to get up there. In the 90s now. Foul ball again. This is a good at-bat for Rainey, who has those 2 strikeouts. Both of them were fighting, though, swinging. 1-2 the count. High fly ball to right field. This is going to hold up. It's just too far away. They're kind of shaded for the right-handed hitter. And that's just no man's land over by the bullpen. A hard place to get to. So still 2 outs behind the 13 strikeouts from Blake Peyton in this game at 1.8 in a row. The 1-2. Misses. Umpire doesn't give him that one. It was just low.
Been an impressive performance of Blake Peyton. I know it's easy to say, but Mixes his pitches up.
There's a ground ball, and they'll take the easy one at short. That's going to do it. So they break up the string of strikeouts but can't get anything across the score. It's 7-1 as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to NAIA opening round action on SESN.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee. As we go to the bottom half of the 7th, the Bulldogs leading the Warriors 7-1. As you can see, this is what everybody's battling for, the red banner. That is a staple if whoever wins the NAIA National Championship, regardless of the sport, gets to hang the red banner on their campus. And both these teams this is the first step, Matt, towards Lewiston.
I was fortunate enough to make a trip to Elkhart, Indiana for the NAIA Swim and Dive National Championships. A familiar team that you might be familiar with, Kaiser University, had a sweep of the men's and women's swim and dive national championship. Their baseball team is in action this week. They were an at-large addition to the field. This is an Indiana Tech. We do have a new pitcher. We'll tell you a little bit about him here in a moment. But this is some would argue this Indiana Tech team maybe stole an at-large bid in a case as the 3 seed. Now, this is a really good team, deserved to be in here. But as a 3 seed traditionally in your conference tournament, if you don't, unless you make it to the championship game, you wouldn't be in the tournament, right? Because you get the championship player, the championship winner, and then the team that made it to the championship for most conferences. But Indiana Tech, if it was chalk, they wouldn't have been in that championship game. So it's potentially, realistically, based on seeding, could argue they stole one. But they've played really well. They deserve to be here. They're just going up against one of the best teams in the country in number 3 Tennessee Wesleyan and the number 1 seed here in Kingsport. There's a leadoff single from Catalano. And the new pitcher is number 15, Matt McKinnon. And Matt is coming into this game 12 appearances, all of them out of the bullpen, a 5.24 ERA and 22 1/3 innings pitched. Now, it is Gary, I don't know if you saw this from the update, the rule updates here in 2025, but I don't want to say this lightly, but the Mercer rule is in effect in the opening round here in the postseason. And it starts in the 7th. So 2 runs here, and Tennessee Wesleyan would be able to walk off this game. It's an 8-run differential.
Now batting catcher number 21, Daniel Stewart.
Bring up Daniel Stewart, the catcher. He's 1 for 3, had a single back in the first, drove in 2.
best player on this team. Gold Glover behind the dish, which is, I would argue, a Gold Glove is the hardest position to really get a Gold Glove is catcher.
You're handling the baseball on every single pitch, potentially.
Now, I'm biased. I was a catcher, so I'm a little biased there, but you're the only position that's in foul territory. You're the only position facing the field, and you have a ton of responsibility. You got to know your pitching staff. You got to know how to receive. You got to know how to block. You got to be able to throw. You got to have, I would argue, the highest IQ, baseball IQ on the field. Stewart down the line, tag by Hanna at third. Throw over to first, and that's a double play for Indiana Tech. A nice play by the third baseman, Bryson Hanna.
Yeah, it's a nice play to go into your right, step on the bag, and throwing on the run. It's extremely hard to do. Throw the baseball accurately as well.
Right field number 32, Colton Reynolds.
I bring up Colton Reynolds 2 for 3 on the afternoon. So McKenna, who had some trouble at first and second, nobody out, got the ground, the pitcher's best friend, a little 5-3 double play.
A little untraditional for that double play, but it was the 41st churned by the Warriors this season. Two 2-0 the count. Pick off to second, no grab there, so nothing going.
Here Reynolds and Corbin Shaw. With this Wesleyan offense, you have 3, 4, 5. I don't know if too many middle part of the lineup is much better than the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs.
2-0. Down the line in right field and fair. That's Reynolds rounding second. He'll hold up there, an RBI double to get the lead to 8-1.
A nice piece of hitting there. You got that baseball down the right field line, and Matt, it's so hard to keep that baseball fair as they keep on slicing. Nice job keeping his hands inside the baseball. A little spray down the right field line to give the Bulldogs their first run since back in the third inning.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever since they scored. They had the 6th spot in the first inning, then the solo home run, and now they score here in the 8th. And well, look at it now, Gary. That double play is even more impactful because that could have been multiple runs.
That's a great point. Again, that's when if you get 2 outs with 1 pitch, it's huge. Especially runners at first, second, nobody out.
Right. Swung over top of it and missed. This is Corbin Shaw. He's one of 2 players today that have not registered a hit in the starting 9. One. He'll send one to right center field, and drifting over to make the play will be Ryberchek. A little confused on who was supposed to grab it as they have the conversation running off of the field. But Tennessee Wesleyan gets another run, and we head to the 8th inning. Our scores 8-1 here in Kingsport.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Blake Payton is back on the mound for the 8th inning of work. He is at 97 pitches on the day, Gary.
67 strikes as well in those 7 innings pitched. Only 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts.
It's been unreal from Blake Payton, the pitcher for this team that was an Appalachian Athletic Conference first teamer, a transfer from the University of Arizona, native of San Diego, California, back on for his 8th inning of work. He will throw a first pitch strike, and what else is new?
Pounding the zone, and usually you want to have at least 60% of your pitches for strikes. He's above 70% strike rate.
Another swing and a miss from Miller.
Going through the lineup here, this is 8-9-1 due up here in the 8th. You wonder maybe this might be his last inning. Just because of the number of pitches, but they've also already saw him. This will be the 3rd time they flip the lineup, will be a 4th time. And this young man's put quite a performance on the board today.
Bullpen has been active for about an inning now for Tennessee Wesleyan. Pitch on the inside, no go.
You don't see a lot of pitchers go with the inside change like Blake Payton does. Blake is very confident in that pitch because he can throw the fastball there. Looks exactly like that, Matt. He can follow it up with a changeup.
That lefty movement. Ground ball to second. Fielded there by Espinoza. He'll throw over to first, and it wasn't out. Corbin Shaw was able to hang on to it. Espinoza short-armed it a little bit, and Shaw on the bag looked like he might have fallen off, but was able to get a foot on it. They ran into each other, dabbed each other up after a little bit of sportsmanship between the two. No harm, no foul. But it is a little wacky 4-3 put out.
Not your traditional 4-3 put out.
I mean, in the book, it's the traditional 4-3 put out, but
it's a 2-hopper to second base we throw in the book. Yeah, but that's a little bit more adventurous.
It feels like you almost got to call it like a 4-3-3 because of what Shaw had to do over there. There's another swing and a foul off by Watkins. This is the 9-hole hitter.
We can take a quick look. This is the bullpen going and for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. You can see in the background.
I think they love to set up a clean inning for their bullpen. Swung on and missed. The 14th strikeout of the day for Blake Payton. He has been lights out against these Warriors. The 14th time he sent them right back to the dugout.
And also, again, Matt, it's a broken record, but he's used all 3 pitches and sometimes 4 pitches to strike guys out. It's just not one pitch. You'll see power pitchers use the fastball to get all their outs, not Blake Payton. He is a complete pitcher. He has plus stuff, fastball, curveball. He'll throw a slide piece and also a change.
First pitch strike to Rybercheck. That one misses at the top of the zone. Gary, how often do you see this? Blake Payton today with 14 strikeouts through his 7 2/3. He has more strikeouts than his team has hits in an 8-1 ball game. Curveball misses again. That just doesn't happen.
When you have a guy, when your ace is this good, and I've seen this Wesleyan Bulldogs team, and they got some really good pitchers as well. They're going to be a tough out for anybody in the NAIA. Of course, this year, 42-11 coming into today, won 9 of the last 10. Knocked off the number 5 team in the country, Reinhardt Eagles, to win the Appalachian Athletic Conference.
Billy Berry's got this team firing on all cylinders. Another foul ball, so the count remains 2-2.
I'm going to check the right fielder. He struck out a couple of times, walked back in the 3rd.
Two for Blake Payton. Just misses the outside corner. Count runs full.
Stewart does such a good job behind the dish of framing the pitches. He works from bottom up, and now that's the new school thing. It's frame the thing bottom up.
Another foul ball by Rybercheck. This is his 3rd time seeing Blake Payton.
You can tell he's a leadoff hitter. Fouling pitches off, pitch after pitch, 3 balls and 2 strikes. They're doing a good job battling.
The 3-2. Called strike 3. 15 strikeouts for Blake Payton today. He has owned the Warriors here in this game. 8-1 Bulldogs as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Tennessee Wesleyan in full control.
An opening around.
Kingsport is more than just a stop, it's a destination. From family fun at Bays Mountain Park to championship golf, arts, and local events, there's something here for everyone. Ready to experience Southern hospitality at its finest? Plan your visit today and see why Kingsport is the perfect place to relax, explore, and make unforgettable memories. Visit kingsport.com. Your adventure starts here.
NAIA opening round here on SESN. Excited to have you along. We move to the bottom of the 8th inning here on SESN. Gary Justice, Matt Kibbe with you, bringing you all the action here on day 2. We only had the 1 game yesterday, and then we're rained out the rest of the way. And so we have a 4-game slate today. This is the second of 4 between Indiana Tech, who won the first game yesterday, and now they face Tennessee Wesleyan here today. We've already had 1 winner. Columbia took down Cumberland in game number 1.
Be the 3rd hurler of the day for the Warriors.
Had to use 2 pitchers yesterday in their win against Louisiana Christian, who plays next. It'll be the 2 seed against the 5 seed in an elimination game.
This is Austin Bradford is the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Warriors.
Has one come right back at him. He'll take the light toss over to first, and there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Now batting, second baseman number 16.
Looking for some insurance, if you want to call it that. 8-1 ball game. If you take away the 6th inning, Tennessee Wesleyan still winning this game 2-1 behind their starting pitcher, Blake Payton.
This is Espinosa, the second baseman, 2 for 3. He's a double and had a home run back in the 3rd.
He'll send another drive out to center field and a couple steps back and an easy catch for Rainey, and that's the 2nd out here in the 8th.
Now batting, shortstop number 1, Devin Dixon.
I don't want to say anything too crazy here because I know we're in the 8th inning, but because I'm going to say something that's going to go haywire. But the first pitch here to Dixon is on the inside. We started this game.
Do you really want to say it?
I'm just going to say this. We started this game at 2 o'clock. Actually, we started at 1:58. If you look at your watch, that's all I wanted to say. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
That's a good way of saying it without saying it. I love
Just
it.
take a look at your watch.
And it's a 9-run scored in the ball game.
Right. Like, hey, thanks Tennessee Wesleyan and Indiana Tech getting us back on time. One and two the count as Byford continues to work here in the 9th. trying to do it in minimal pitching. Fouled off. It took 4 pitches to get the first 2 outs, and now 4 pitches this at bat, so he's at 8 total.
Only 2 walks in the ball game combined by both teams.
Ground ball to third. Bryson Hanna's there. He'll take the nice toss over to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the reliever, Austin Byford, and now we will head to the 9th. It is the final chance for Indiana Tech here in this winner's bracket game on SESN. We'll be right back. Well, officially, Blake Payton's day is done. He will give way to the reliever, Cameron Gopher, and he will come in to try and close the door on Indiana Tech in an 8-1 game. Gopher this season, 19 appearances, almost the most on the team. He's one away from having the most appearances on the team. 5 of them were starts. He's got a 5.37 ERA in 52 innings of work.
He's one of those dependable guys out of the bullpen for the Bulldogs that Coach Berry will go to. Hand the baseball to him 19 times out of 43 ball games. We checked out 54 ball games, a little bit more than 1 every 3 ball games. That's a lot of confidence.
He will have the middle of the order, 2, 3, 4 due up in the top of the 8th inning, or top of the 9th. First pitch is a strike from Gofar. Another strike from Gofar, and it is quickly 0-2. And, you go from the lefty to the righty, but the mindset doesn't change. Attack the zone. Another pitch on the outside. It's a team that, behind Blake, Peyton had 15 strikeouts now, so as a team they have 15 strikeouts, all of them with one arm. There's a line drive right at the second baseman, Espinoza. He had to take a quick jab step to his right, and it came right at him.
The Warriors come in the ball game, Matt, the team batting average in their 38 wins, 345. And today they are hitting at a 115 clip.
Just the 3 hits. First pitch, yes, he did on the check swing and an appeal. It tells you what you need to know. They've only had 5 at-bats with runners even on base. They've only had 3 at-bats with runners in scoring position. Their only run is a solo home run. That came all the way back in the 4th inning. The man on deck, Jordan Malott, was the one who hit it. Bryson Hanna is batting now. Swings over top. He goes 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and it is 2 outs up on the board. Indiana Tech down to their final out. So Malott, who hit the long home run back in the 4th, will be the last resort, down by 7 in the 9th inning. He'll swing at the first pitch. Espinoza's there. Malott hung up with a little bit of a cramp, and it will be a nice, easy throw for Espinoza. A lot down, but that's the game. Tennessee Wesleyan will advance, and because of our schedule change, they will actually, the winner of this game has a doubleheader. They will play tonight at 8:30 against Columbia. Indiana Tech's day is done. They will play again tomorrow in an elimination game. So they only have the one game today. Tennessee Wesleyan will play a doubleheader, but what's out of the ordinary for an NAIA team to play a doubleheader in the middle of the week, right?
Yeah, most of those guys, they're used to playing doubleheaders. It'll be in the middle of the week, on the weekend. NAIA, usually the schedule is you play one on a Friday and two on a Saturday every single weekend, so these guys are definitely used to playing 2 games in one day.
And they only had to use the 2 pitchers behind Blake Payton, going 8 innings with 15 strikeouts. He is certainly our MVP on the broadcast today. Lights out stuff from the lefty.
It definitely, the Bulldogs come out and the onslaught in that first inning, put 6 on the scoreboard, had the first 4 batters get base hits. They keep on swinging the sticks over and over, and they was able to capitalize, and they rolled the arm of number 7 from the left side. The 15 strikeout performance, opening round win.
A big opening round win in their first game of the NAIA opening round here on SESN. We will have Louisiana Christian against Cumberland, and that will be an elimination game. Our first elimination game of the week is coming up. It is scheduled for 5. It might happen a little bit sooner with this game moving as quickly as it did. And if it does, just check back here on SESN. That's going to do it for us here. For Gary Justice, I'm Matt Kibbe. Tennessee Wesleyan, the number 3 team in the nation and number 1 seed here in Kingsport, beats Indiana Tech 8-1 to improve to 1-0 in bracket play. We'll see you for our first elimination game of the week coming up next here on SESN.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.